Welcome to Catfish Weekly. Along with, nope, not JR tonight. JR is broke down on the side of the road. I hope he gets in good. We got Patriot Catfishers of America's own James Smith in with us tonight to co-host the show. James, how you doing?
Doing great, Lyle. Doing great.
What is it you always say at the beginning of your shows?
I'm sorry, I missed that.
What is it you always tell everybody at the beginning of your shows?
God bless America, guys. And don't ever forget it. There ain't one like it.
That's fact. That's a fact. We just celebrated one of the greatest holidays that we have all year long, the 4th of July, Independence Day, and I enjoyed it so much, and I know everyone else did. But tonight, James, we got Elstan Perez, Mr. Chunky Catfishing himself in the show, fishing on the bank.
Hello, everyone.
You got one line in the water, and you're going to set out some more, and then we're going to talk about catfishing.
Sounds good. I have two out. I need two
more
out there.
Out. All right.
Two ready.
James, this ought to be a blast with Elstan in here. We'll get his perspective. People can see how he fishes, and if he gets one on, they'll see how exciting it is to watch him.
Yeah, we got a lot of people in chat tonight.
Yeah, we do. It's a racking on, and that's good. That's what we want.
Yes,
and
sir.
I hope everybody enjoys the show, and keep old JR in your thoughts. I mean, he's waiting on a tow truck to come and get him. His old truck broke down, so we don't want him to have any problems while he's out there. There's K&B and Junior Proctor and Palmetto, Joe Buck, Mike Lewis, James Land, Sean Abney, K&B, David Martin, Fin Seekers, Flint Hill, Catfish and Crappie, John Patrick III, Robert, Rex, Blacker Jr., Great American Exploring. Let's see. There's a bunch of them in here tonight, James.
Yeah, Team Wampus Cat, James Docker, John Patrick, Sandhill Cat Hunters. We got a lot. Hey, Cindy.
Got a lot of the ones that are usually watching a lot of the shows all week long. And James, for a long time, we was the only show in town.
Yes, sir.
And now there's a show just about every night. So if you like to visit and see people talk and share information one-on-one, you can just about go to YouTube every night of the week and catch somebody talking about something that has to do with catfishing.
Yes, sir. And Chunky Cat fills in the spaces, don't he?
And he does. He does. Chunky, Elstan, I tell you what, I bet I've been asked a dozen times this week what touch my finger means.
Touch my finger. I was fishing right here about 2 weeks ago, and it was a good night. I think we were up to like 13 fish, and I was pretty tired because I was running up. Up to that point, we had 3 doubles, and we have a lot of gar in the Potomac River. So we were having a lot of little gar bites, and I was pretty worn out towards the end of the show. And I put my finger out. We were having a hit, and I said, we're having a fish bite, and I said, I won't get up unless that rod touches my finger. And Mr. James Docker just ran with it, made me a shirt. And, I have it on. Here we go. Touch my finger. I absolutely love it.
It was hilarious when it happened that night. And like you say, James made a real cool shirt for you. So it turned out to be a lot of fun, and everybody else just kind of got on board with it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I put that video out. So some people hadn't seen it. So I just kind of made it like a 3-minute video. So those that hadn't seen it could see it.
That's awesome. So if you haven't seen that, tell them where they can find your videos and stuff at, so they go over and check that stuff out.
So I have a YouTube channel. It's called Chunky Fishing, and just check it out. And I hope that you like it, you enjoy it, subscribe, and you can see all the videos. And I don't put out a lot of videos. I do a lot of live streams. When I can go fishing, I like to fish Washington D.C. or the Virginia side, which is Alexandria. And most of the time, we do pretty well. Most of the time, not bad.
Yeah, you catch a lot of fish.
Yeah.
And you got a big following, and all your live streams, they load up to YouTube after you're done, correct?
That is correct. Yes. Yeah.
So
and those that can't catch the live stream, I'll always go back the following morning, and I'll put the time when we had the better fish. So that way you don't have to watch the whole live stream. I can give you the good spots, and then you can quickly scoot up to that video and see the better fish.
Well, that's kind of neat. James,
yeah, it kind of helps me out too to get some views, because some of my live streams are 2, 3, 4 hours long, and if I didn't do that, I wouldn't get many views. So that kind of helps out. People go straight to the point where.
Yeah, they don't.
The nice
it
fish,
seems
nice
like
catch.
If you're live, in my case anyhow, it seems like if we're live, and James, you can put your influence on this too. But when we're live, seems like a lot of people stay the entire show. But if they go back and watch it, they skip through it, or they don't see as much of it. But now on our podcast, we load everything up to a podcast. So if they're driving down the road, they don't watch it, they can listen to it. And they listen to that almost 100% also.
See, I need to do that.
Yeah.
I need to do that. I didn't even think about doing a podcast with my show like that, loading it up. I'll have to talk to you after the show on how to do that.
Absolutely. What you have to do is you get a program and you strip the audio out of the video. Fish on.
Well, we had a hit.
He's got a hit on.
We had a hit.
I would call that number 2. He calls it number 3.
Number 3. Yep, number 3. Yeah. So
I'd see some action.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
You know what I told you, man?
That'll get my blood going, So.
It gets my blood going watching it.
Any fish caught live is a good fish.
Yes, sir.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. So let me just tie the line just a little bit. And see
go ahead.
He might be on there.
Yeah, I never thought about that. I mean, I've heard Dieter talk about his podcast, and I've listened to a bunch of his podcasts and some other guys' podcasts, and I thought about it. I thought, well, I don't really know how to do that or what app to download or what. So
it's really, James, the hardest thing is to find an app to do it, because there's so many of them that are crappy that's online, and I can't find one that you can purchase that's any good. So I have to search around online and find the one I want to use every week. There's one I use pretty regularly, but it takes a little while to do it. Sometimes a lot more time than others. But it is what it is. But a lot of people like it, especially truck drivers and guys like that.
Right.
They enjoy that very much.
Good. Elstan, I know this is a crazy question, but what you got out for bait?
I know what he's got out for bait.
Eel. It's always going to be eel. Eel. It's American eel. And I have a couple of Asian markets by my house. One's about 1 mile, the other one's about 2 miles, and they usually have them in stock. I go buy at the Asian market. It's a little expensive. It's around $11 a pound. I bought 3 eels today. I spent about $18. But I just want to make sure we had plenty of eel head. 2 of them have eel head. I believe the one that hit and the one that's closest to us, number 1.
Now, them eels that you're using, they're what, about that big around?
Yeah, they're pretty good. I would say quarter or bigger than a quarter, fatter than a quarter.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
Now, that's the eel.
More like a 50 cents.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's the eel that people eat, ain't it?
Say it again.
That's the eel that people eat, ain't it?
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's sold at the Asian market, and sometimes it's sold out. So I have to go find it at another one. So yeah, some people eat it. I don't.
Yeah.
I know they had that show on there. What was it? Dirt Rich or something, where it showed people digging out red worms for fishermen up north in Maine. And then these guys was out. That one guy had them big wares built that was catching them eels coming down the river. And that rascal was making a killing off of them eels. He was smoking them. He had a smoker. He was smoking them. And he sold them things all over the world.
Okay, I didn't know that. I'll have to look into that one. That's a good story there. Absolutely. Thank you for letting me know.
I'm not eating a eel. They're nasty.
I can only imagine it's going to be very, what do you call it, chewy, gummy, I guess. That's one of the fish. I believe there's 3 fish that the Potomac River, they say not to eat from here. One is the striper, the rockfish, eel, and carp. Catfish, you can eat just a little bit. I think it's two portions a month. But those eel you shouldn't eat from here.
I'm one of them people. If I can only eat 2 portions a month, I ain't gonna eat no portions a month.
That's right. That's right.
I don't eat. You know, if I want fish, I'm gonna go Red Lobster. You know,
That's right.
There you go.
Yeah, it's usually pretty good there.
So on your setup on your rods and stuff, I see some of them's a little bit longer than the others. What do you got? 10 foots and 8 foots?
Right now, the rod 1 and 2 are the ones that I won it on Catfish Headhunter Norm show, and then one was given to me as a gift. Someone called Chris, says, you know what, I want to pay for it. I want Chucky to have 2. You know, the one he won, and I'm going to pay for the other. That person wants to remain anonymous, and I'm very grateful that they did that for me. And then the other 2, so those are 7.5 foot. That's the Chris Flores 7.5 foot Blue Cat rod. And then the others are Whisker Seeker 9.5 foot rods.
Yeah, I was on there tonight and won that one rod. Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you're throwing 20-pound line on them, and they're all spinning.
I have one that's casting, one Whisker Seeker, 9.5 foot it's a caster.
Do you have a bait caster on it or a spinning reel?
No, bait caster. It's a little Abu Garcia 5000. It's a small one. Absolutely love it. The only thing it doesn't have is a clicker. I wish it had a clicker, just because when the fish is taking line, we can hear it. It's just for the show. That's plain and simply.
Well, actually, that 5,000 Lyle, if I'm not mistaken, you can actually take it to somebody and have a clicker put on it.
I understand that you can. I've never had that done, simply because 6,500 or 6,000 is the smallest one I've ever had.
Right.
Oh yeah, this 5,000 is really small, but
yeah,
I'm new to it. I've only been using it for about a year, but it seems like I dialed that one in, and I'm able to cast further than any other rod that I have.
There you go.
But you just ain't got much line left on it then when you throw a long cast, though, do you?
Not a whole lot, but I mean, I'll be honest. I've never had a fish take that much light out. You know, I think I have.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the 5,000s. That's a good smooth reel. It really is. I used one for years. In fact, I still got my old one, and I put it on that rod that JR gave me. That I can't think of the name of it now. Oh my God, I had brain dead. Been doing that a lot, but it's a real whippy rod, and it's a little short 6-footer.
Mm-hmm.
And that 5,000 on that little whippy rod. Well, that's the one I caught back in January. I caught that 35 on the bank. That's the rod I caught it on. That was a blast. That little reel handled it just perfectly. And I got 14-pound test on it.
So I'm able to cast that thing really, really far, but when that fish hits, sometimes you hear me complaining that I'm doing a lot of little revolutions to catch up to the fish. I'm just really, really fast. But it's a fun little reel.
Well, you can put your power handle on it. That's a little bit longer handle and give you a little bit more rotation.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about getting a new Abu. I think the show it would be for the show.
Yeah.
Get your 65 C3.
That's what I keep
great.
hearing. That's what I keep
I've got
hearing.
a bunch of them.
Yeah. You can't go wrong with them. They're good, strong reels. There's a lot of parts out there. There's tons of people that can rebuild them. Yep. And once you learn it, if you want to put them high dollar bearings in there to maybe get a little bit further, they can do that. But just like they are straight out of the box, you can't beat them reels.
No, they're good.
Yeah. Now, Lyle, does the new ones come with the new drag washers, or do you have to have them put in it?
I think the new ones come with the good drag washers in them. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I believe that's correct.
I think that's what I was told, that they come with the new drag washers.
I haven't bought a new one in a while. Like I say, I've got, I don't know how many. I really don't. I got a lot of them.
Yeah, well,
and that's the main thing I use. The ones I like the very best are the black ones with line counters on them. We got 6 or 8 of those that we use year round. And if I have trouble with one, I'll gather them all up and send them in and get them all done. And Jarrett fixes me up with River Rack Reel Repair, and then he sends them back to me. And I don't have to worry about them. Usually once a year, once every other year, because when he gets done with them, they're better than they was when they was new.
Oh, yeah. Now, Elstan, what made you choose the spot that you're fishing to begin with? What made, out of all the spots that you've probably got a place to fish, what made you choose the spots that you fish most often?
I was kind of thinking of that question. I consider myself to be a professional bank fisherman, and well, it's kind of a funny. To me, it's funny. To be a professional bank fisherman means that you can fish and park within 100 yards. If you can park within 100 yards and start fishing, that to me is the world. So I don't like to walk more than 100 yards.
I don't want to be walking that far.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's tough enough walking up the ramps and go get the trailer when I'm done with the boat.
So let me explain why I don't, because I'm not sure if that question might come up, or as the show goes on, anyone who doesn't know my YouTube channel, I do a show. So in other words, some of my rods are painted with fluorescent paint, and then some of them are wrapped with high reflected fluorescent tape. And I have a blue wagon, and it's got a boat battery. It's got a very, very heavy, deep cycle boat battery. Then I also have an inverter. Then I run 3 black lights. So there's a lot going on. I can't go way, in the boondocks for the show. Yeah. So just wherever I can find parking and it's a decent flat area where I can set up, that's where I'm gonna be fishing.
Well, you got it going on. Creole Catfishing, thank you very much. James runs that flag behind him on every show that he does.
I must have missed that comment.
They donated $5 to us, and we appreciate it so much. It goes to pay for a lot of things during the show, but yeah, he liked the flag, and every
Very
Wednesday
nice.
night you can see that flag on Catfishers of America.
Yeah, we thank you. But now, I mean, the reason I asked that, Elstan, was that, Catfish Dave, and, I'd hate bringing up somebody else that's not on the show. But with that being said, because he's kind of restricted on certain areas that he can fish, he really has to do his homework, because you know yourself, there's a lot of dead water out there that you can fish all day and night and never get a bite. So he has to do a lot of homework. That's why I asked you that question. Did you look on Google Earth, or did you look on the
Navionics?
Navionics, to try to figure out, the bottom contour of that water. But it's a man-made channel through there, ain't it?
Not where I'm at today. This is the actual riverside. This is
Okay.
the actual Potomac riverside here.
Okay.
That's no, but I do fish the channel side, and we sometimes do well, sometimes not too good. But here, I think the bigger ones roll around right now. I think we have a better chance of catching something bigger right now, in my opinion, on the riverside.
Do you have? I mean, what I was asking, are they much contour to that water? I'm sure they went in and dredged all that water because they don't want it silting in. I mean, you're right there in the city, and they don't want it getting nasty and scummy and all that. So I'm sure that with them doing all that dredging, they probably took a lot of the contours out of the bottom.
That's a good question, Patriot. I never looked into that, but I bet you're dead on right there.
Yeah, you need to look at Navionics and see if there's a map for there,
There
because
is.
you
Absolutely.
might be throwing 5 foot away from a good hole.
Yeah, I know where I'm fishing at here. The first, I would say 30 feet going out, it's very shallow, but then it gets pretty deep pretty quick out there.
Now, what do you call them pretty shallow? 5 foot, 6 foot?
Yeah, anywhere between 3 to 4 or 5 feet. Yeah, it depends.
Okay.
Because the tide fluctuates here about 3 feet. That's the tide difference from a low tide to high tide is 3 feet. Exactly 3 feet.
Now, do you do better at high tide, low tide, or incoming tide, or outgoing tide?
I haven't really taken notice, but I think I do slightly better when there's a moving tide. Yeah, slightly better. But my personal best, which is a 52-pound blue catfish, was caught at slack tide, low tide. Yeah, it wasn't moving at all. Now the tide here doesn't rush out. It doesn't. It's a very slow. Gradual up or down.
Well, that one tournament you was fishing in, everybody was slopping around in the water. The tide was so high, everybody was slopping in the water, and it's coming up over the wall where you're at now.
Yes, yeah. That on the channel side, that was built, I would say, about 30 to 40 years ago. And yeah, now the water surpasses that the way it was built many years ago. So yep, the water's definitely rising here.
The engineers wasn't thinking about the future tides, were they?
I'm not gonna mention who constructed it.
So when you're stepping up there and casting, are you just rearing back and just letting it ride, or are you trying to specifically slow it down and stop it and drop it short? Or
I get that question asked every now and then on my channel. I don't know why. I try to rev it and launch it as far as I can. Every single rod, they're all, well, I mean, of course the shorter rods are a little bit closer in, but the bigger ones get a little bit further out. But no, I always try to put them as far as possible.
Well, see, I was kind of, go ahead.
I have tried a few times. Maybe, I believe you've mentioned it and Norm has mentioned it. Put one closer in. I haven't had any luck yet, but we'll have to try it again maybe.
Well, you need to get a set of my bobbers and float them around that daggone wall I'm seeing right there in that back right there, because are they flatheads up there? That's my question.
100% there is. From where I'm at here, I would say about maybe a 3 to 4 mile towards, it's called Fletcher's Cove or Chainbridge Road. There is flatheads. That's where the rocks are at, and they do catch flatheads. Yes. Me personally, I have never caught a flathead. I have not. But there is flatheads.
Okay.
Palmetto Cats wants to know, what kind of bounce juice do you have tonight?
We got the party started right.
All right.
And it's empty.
Oh, man.
All we need is a rod to go down, and I'll start bouncing. That's
right.
That's where...
Well, this is earlier than you usually.
That's a good question. I loved it. I love that question. We need those rods to bounce, and I'll bounce.
It's like I say, it's a little earlier than I usually see you on.
Yeah. I
usually right about dark.
I try to go around dark time. Yeah, that's like I said. I run 3 black lights. I'll kind of just show you my wagon right there. I have my wagon. You can see 2 black lights there on the wagon, and then I have one right behind me, which is, I guess you can't see it, but that's
yeah, the
there.
one on the ground. I can see it.
Oh, you can see it?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, there. It's I'm not sure why I can't see it there. It's
How far is it down there when you reach over that wall to the water?
Oh, well, the good thing is right now it's up high. It's gonna be high tide at 10 o'clock, around 10:05. Right now I'm about, I would say, 4 to 5 feet, and I do. Oh yeah. I have a green light down there. I do that sometimes if I put the camera here, just so y'all can see me net it. But people prefer to stay with the rods instead of netting the fish.
I'd have to have a really long arm on my dip net, James, or I'd be falling in.
You ain't kidding. We got Bill of Rights in the house with us tonight.
Sweet.
He's doing some pretty nice stuff with his rods. I'm not sure if he's adding that high reflected silver, which is that's the one that's got the highest reflectability, is that silver.
Right.
It doesn't have the fluorescent color, but I'm really enjoying that he's doing that fluorescent tape.
Yep,
the
high reflected tape.
That's some really good videos too. Dieter's in the house, setting hooks and crossing eyes. Kentucky Catman Outdoors, Palmetto Outdoors with the Dave,
Jawjacker.
We got a bunch of folks in tonight. Come in to see you tonight, Elstan.
Fantastic. I hope I don't disappoint. We need Chad. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Absolutely. Dee's in here. I seen her was in here a while ago, and Betty Jean Cross, and there's
Fishing with the Chad. DMV. Now that's your buddy, ain't it, Elstan? DMV.
Absolutely, yes. DMV. He's a great guy. As a matter of fact, this spot where I'm at, I got that from him. Believe it or not. I think I saw him fishing here first. Absolutely. Yes.
Really? Cool.
Yeah.
There's Twerking Monkey. I seen him last night.
Yes, sir.
Dean is in here. Let's see. Tim Molina.
Tim Molina's a big supporter. Everyone you mentioned always
They're in all the
always
shows.
around.
A lot of them watch them all.
Yep.
Absolutely. They're wonderful
awesome.
people. I love every single one of my subscribers.
Corn
I let them know.
Blues.
I'm surprised old Maurice ain't in here tonight.
Exactly. I was just thinking about Maurice.
He'll be in a little bit.
Yeah. Good people.
He's a fine guy.
Yeah, he really is. Him and his wife have been through it, but they good people. Really good people. Now, what kind of lights are them? 12-volt black lights, or are they 110 that you're having to run the inverter for?
They're 110s. I need to plug them in. I have, of course, the inverter. Then I have a splitter, and they're 110s. I believe they're 20 watts, but when I did a reading, it's pulling 25 watts of juice. So I'm not sure. I'm confused on that.
Are they pulling 25 watts or 25 amps?
Oh, Facebook.
You got me there. I think they're watts.
Battery.
Yeah. They pulling 25 amps. That battery ain't gonna last long. That's why I was getting ready to ask. That inverter would be hot.
Yeah.
This battery was given to me by Michael Murillo. Mike Murillo, that's what he does as a profession, and it had a torn box, and his company couldn't sell it because it was defected, and he sent it to me. Brand new deep cycle battery, and it's doing absolutely fantastic. I can run a show for about 3 or 4 hours with 3 black lights and the green light. The green light takes a lot of that's a 30 watts, and it will only take about 20% down, so it will still be at 80%. It's a very strong one, strong battery.
There you go. What kind of battery is it for people that has boats or does bait fishing? They might want to look into getting that type of battery.
You know what? I don't want to say, but I know it's interstate. That's as much as I know. I don't know exactly, but I can.
Brand.
Yeah.
Captain Greg Olala's in here also tonight.
Who's that? Say that again.
Captain Greg Olala.
There's Maurice.
There's Maurice. Ace Catfishing. Justin Fishing Fetish.
Guys, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Share this thing out. Let's get some people in here, and I tell you what. Elstan, for a great show tonight, Lyle. Let's give away a set of them brand new big green Catahulk bobbers that I'm producing. Let's give a set of them away in chat.
See, are you wanting to do that now, James?
Whenever it's all up to you, Mr. Lyle.
Well, if you continue on with Elstan, I'll get them all loaded up.
Okay, well, Elstan, with your rods, you paint them up, you put your fluorescent stuff on them. What gave you the idea to actually start doing that? I know you do your live feeds and stuff. Was somebody complaining they couldn't see your rods, or was you having trouble seeing your rods like you're doing right now?
To be honest, I had 3 ugly sticks GX2, and that's the rod that caught my biggest, my personal best. And I was at home one day, and to be honest, I don't know what made me just try to do it. And it was trial and error, because here's the thing is, if you start painting your rods with fluorescent paint, make sure to use a primer. You need to prime. If you don't prime, it's going to start looking really, really beautiful. And when you start to mask off to go to the next color, because you want to use probably multi-colors,
right?
When you mask off and you go to the next color and you pull that tape off, it's all going to come off.
Right.
But it turned out so well. Then I just started using black lights on my Whisker Seeker rods, because the Whisker Seeker has orange going up.
Right.
And then I started, to be honest, that's a great question, James. And it just kind of developed on its own, to be honest.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It just.
Now, the reason I'm asking that, I've got them cheaper rods I was telling you about that I fish with, and I'm wanting to paint them the red, white, and blue. I'm not going to copy what James Burt done for me, but I'm wanting to do my own version on them. And I was concerned about certain paints are more flexible than others. So are you having any problem with the paint cracking or anything when you get that big rod, that big fish in, and he pulling a bow in that rod, so you're not having that problem?
I have not. The only problem is that if you use an oil-based primer and you don't let it dry properly, and then you start to coat it with the fluorescent paint, because fluorescent paint, it's hard to believe, but it takes anywhere between 10 to 15 coats. Now, if the sun's hitting it, it would dry very, very quick. I mean, It's like a liquid powder. You can have it really, really nice, and if that oil base isn't cure and hard, you think it's gonna look beautiful, you come back in a few hours and you're gonna have lots and lots of cracks, crackage everywhere. Yep.
Got you.
So,
I got you. After the show or whatever, I'm gonna text me and let me know what kind of paint you use. I'm not gonna use fluorescent on mine, but I do want the red, white, and blue. And that's what I was concerned with, was what kind of paint that I could do myself without having to.
just plain Rust-Oleum spray cans, and if you use that oil base, with it not being fluorescent, I bet you don't even have to use a primer. Probably that oil base was adhere right to it.
Well, I mean, I would use primer anyway, so
yeah.
And Lyle, I could probably talk to him as some of the cut when I know you've colored rods before, hadn't you, Lyle?
Yeah, I sand them down and prime them and paint them all the time. I use automotive paint that has the flex additive for bumpers and stuff, and it never cracks.
Absolutely, that plastic paint. I mean, I heard of it. It's made to flex. Yeah,
you can have you can have them guys at a paint shop. They can put that in a spray can for you.
Wow.
Like O'Reilly's and places like that. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not cheap, but they can do it.
Right.
I'm learning something here.
And see, the reason I was looking like you said, the automotive, is that like on my blues and my reds, I want that metallic color to it instead of just a flat blue. I mean, it's going to be shiny, but I want, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
More like that Blue Rockets that I have. It's got that metallic look to it. And the 6000s I got with that red, I wanted that metallic look to it. So I appreciate the info, guys.
We drive down the road, and I'll tell Cindy, I said, man, that color of that car looked great on a rod.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and you just never stop doing it. All right, Elstan, give me a number between 1 and 5.
Ooh. I'm going to give you your favorite number, Lau, because I know your favorite number. 1.
It is.
I know.
I'm going to try to do this without messing it up. I believe it's Tone Blues. QUARANTOONED Blues. You are the winner. Contact
Congratulations.
Blue,
Fantastic.
and he will hook you up. Thank you so much for watching the show tonight. Man, it's a blast. We got a bunch of people watching tonight. I knew this was going to be a fun show. And James, thank you so much for donating those bobbers. I'm sure that he'll enjoy them.
Yes.
I watched a video with 812 yesterday where he'd had them out catching some flatheads, done a bang-up job, and he was talking about how great they are. So I know they're an awesome piece of equipment. Everybody probably needs some.
And I'm going to tell you guys, I mean, I know we some manly men, but Eddie Cross in here, she's in here tonight. She sent me a picture of the pink bobbers that I sent her, and it was a dark, so you couldn't see the bobber. But that pink light, hot dog, I couldn't believe how bright that thing stood out. So don't be scared of pink, guys. It really shows up.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, she said she loves them. But Elstan, so do you ever float any baits out there?
I only tried it once. After I won once again the Chris Flores rod on Catfish Headhunters, I went to Chris Flores' website, and since I had a rod coming, I ordered a hoodie.
Right.
And Chris was nice enough to send me 2 of his floats and two really nice hats. So I tried it when that floaty came in, but I was having trouble. I wasn't here. I was at a different spot. That floaty was just kind of coming in.
Right.
So I just tried it once. But I need to try it again. Absolutely.
Yeah. If they are flatheads up there, you need to get you a couple of them white perch or a couple of them big old hand-sized bluegill and throw one out there. And what you can do is maybe tie you a Kentucky rig, put your weight on the bottom, throw it out there, and let that weight just barely hit the bottom where it's kind of holding it in place so it don't drift around as much. And you might get your first flathead up there. I'd throw it right over against that cotton picker wall where I'd be throwing it. How about you, Lyle?
Yeah, I'd be over pretty close to her.
Yes, sir.
I probably shouldn't tell this, but I got a place when we're up at the lake going after shad that is a wall built like that. And it's rare that there's not shad hanging around that wall.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
They're almost always there.
the algae builds up on that concrete and stuff like that, and them shad love that algae, guys.
They do. Yeah.
Let's see. Elstan, Justin Fishing Fetish said he'll show you how to use them when he makes it back up there.
Sounds great. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. He came up here. I'm not sure if it was last year or the year before, and he did pretty good. He caught a 41-pound blue catfish.
Yeah, nice.
Creek chub. Yeah, on the channel side. Yep.
Justin, good people.
Now this is the opposite side from where you show the monument. Is that correct?
Say that one more time, Lyle.
A lot of times when you're doing your feeds at night, I can see the monument lit up behind across the river. This is in a different place than that.
That is correct. No, this is the riverside. That's the channel side. And I was thinking about going over there. It's kind of crowded over there.
Yeah.
When it's kind of around this time, they'll leave when it gets dark. So I decided to come over here. Yeah.
Well, that brings up another question, and James and I talked about this before you got in the show. How safe is it up there where you're at night by yourself?
You know, my wife was really concerned at first, but I know it is Washington, D.C. To be honest, I haven't had any issues, any problems. I really haven't. But when I started doing this nighttime fishing, I was a little worried and concerned.
Yeah.
I mean, I am a CCW holder, but you can't conceal carry in DC. It's not, it's not supported here.
No, that's too bad.
Yeah.
I also have license for that, and I promise you, I wouldn't be out at night without it. What's going on now.
I keep hearing that as a lot, but yeah.
But you know what?
That's where you get you a little cheap one in case they take it away from you.
Okay.
Well, if you're not having any trouble, and as much as you're out there, one thing about it is many people that watch you at night, there's got to be somebody see something.
Yeah.
But I don't with the stuff that's going on these days, I don't hardly leave home without it. I just don't.
Well, I'm sure you got plenty of cops that ride through the areas where you're at too.
I mean, the road from here, I would say it's about maybe 40 yards, and you'll see if you keep looking that way, you'll see a police officer pass by every 5 minutes or so. There's a lot of DC policemen around here. Absolutely.
Good.
That's great. Yeah.
Now, as far as your big fish, we told you you told us what your big fish was. Now, when you first got out there and started fishing and stuff, what baits and stuff was you throwing then, and what made you go towards using eel?
Great question. So my personal best didn't come on eel, believe it or not. It was on white perch, cut white perch. And it was a really itty bitty piece. It was a small little piece, and I had a really great video on it. I mean, of course, that's when I was starting to do YouTube. I had a GoPro, but the GoPro, it responded really well, and I was really close to it. The fish, I laid it up right on the concrete, and it didn't. People were like, I can't believe that fish didn't flop. The eel, believe it or not, I started YouTubing saying Washington D.C. tidal basin fishing and extreme Philly fishing. Now, I don't watch his videos, but at the time he came up and he was using it. I mean, this guy, I'm not sure if you know him, but he's got over 100,000 subscribers. He was using eel, and he was catching quite a bit of blue catfish. Now, they weren't monster, but they were all around the 8 to 10 pounds. And I remember he said this, eel will never fail. Eel never fails. That's what he said. And ever since I saw him, I started using it, and it just kind of went from there. And I was fishing at the tidal basin, and I did extremely well. Me and Cookie were out there about 3 years ago, and we were catching 20, 30-pound fish in the DC tidal basin. That's where they rent the paddle boats. I mean, that's another area that's been man-made constructed, and we were tearing it up in there. I mean, the Potomac River and the channel side kind of meet in there. There's gates, and the gates open up, and the tide kind of goes in slowly, and the fish, they find their way in there. But I did extremely well on eel.
Sound like there's a lot of bait in there, don't it, Lyle?
It does to me, yeah.
There's something drawing them fish in there.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, there is a lot of bait in that DC tidal basin. You can see them just flapping around, jumping around. And the only reason I'm not in there right now is just I'm just trying. This is just me, okay? And I respect everyone else. I'm a mass person. I just don't want to be around the crowd right now. That's the reason I'm not fishing at the tidal basin.
And I completely understand it. I really do. But
Scotty Hill come in.
How many? Dana McGill it also came in.
Yep.
Is there a lot of bank fishermen up there where you're at, Elstan?
There is. Back on the channel side where you can see the monument way in the background, and then I do that panoramic shot of all the condominiums.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. That part, believe it or not, I don't know why they still have the gates closed, because I think we're in phase. I don't know what DC's in phase, probably 2 or 1. That's a big island. It's a big golf course, and there's a lot of bank fishermen there. Yes. Unfortunately, they're fishing with chicken liver, shrimp, worms, and then I'll ask them, have you caught anything? They're like, yeah, I caught 1 or 2. And they're like, the fish is no good. And I'll set up right beside them, and I'll put my eel in, bam, 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 start catching those 12, 15-pound catfish. I tell them,
funny.
Stop using shrimp, stuff. Don't do it.
Well, a lot of them guys, they're probably not going to handle eel. Men or not. They a lot of people don't want to touch them. And a lot of people probably don't know exactly what they are.
Right.
Because everybody in the world haven't seen them. But I swear, if you ever catch one live out fishing and it gets in a boat with you and wiggles its way through every loop in a dip net, you'll never forget them. But, a lot of people are not going to go out and search where to get them, where you know where to get them. Them guys probably don't know where to get them. They think the only way to get them is to catch them, and they're not going to target them. So you may be gold on that.
Right. What are the laws? What are the laws up there for like putting out eel pots, Elstan? You might save you a lot of money by putting you out some eel pots, and you might catch you some big old eels. Build you a little live well at home to keep them in.
That's a good point. I need to look into that. I know that one time I purchased, I think it was 4 or 5 eels, and I was able to keep them in the fridge. I have like a little outdoor fridge with 2 battery-powered aerators, and they stayed alive for 5 days. But I would need to get a plug-in aerator. The only reason they died is because my aerators they went dead. They stopped producing the aeration, the bubbles.
Right.
As soon as the bubbles stop, they'll die really, really fast. They require a lot of oxygen.
Well, what you need to do is go online and try to find you the CPAP machines that people use for sleeping, the CPAP machines.
I use one. That thing has changed my life.
That rascal right there, you put you some oxygen lines on, air lines on that, and put you some stones in there, and that rascal will run. There you go.
Very good. All right.
And you can find them, where people's parents or grandparents has passed away, and they sell them online trying to help other people out. So right there's your system.
Never thought about
that. Into the wall.
Fantastic.
Never thought
Absolutely.
about that.
Yep, you can find plenty of them. But yeah, the eels, from what I understand, they're a pretty hardy creature that it don't take a whole lot of oxygen or really clean water in order to keep them.
And another reason I love the eels, because I can have bite after bite or guard, playing with my bait out there. Eel is very hard to knock off the hook. I mean, I've caught, I kid you not, up to 5 or 6 catfish on one piece of eel. I'll just leave it on there. Because sometimes it kind of goes up on the hook. I just reposition it, goes right back out.
Hey, that sounds like the amazing carp you fish with, don't it, Lyle?
That's exactly right. The skin on them, baby, are so tough. The only way that you ever have to change it really is if you get a bunch of them little bitty fish in there, they'll eat the meat off of it and leave the skin, because you got to cut the skin off almost every time.
I mean,
yeah. But I've used the same piece of Asian carp for 3 or 4 hours fishing before.
Super awesome. How many people we got in chat today?
I can't see it on my side.
I got 82 over there.
Wow. I wish I could put a show on that. That's when I get excited and start hopping around. You know, I'm sure that's what everyone's waiting for.
Normally, you only caught 2 or 3.
I know I can't control a fish bite, but I mean, I want the rods to do. I'll even take a gar bite right now. Come on, gar, come around.
Oh man, I'm enjoying watching the jets fly in front of your rods out there.
Well, Elstan, I do appreciate you coming in on the show tonight, and you do have a good following, and I know that you encourage everybody to check into other people's channel, and I do appreciate that as far as another YouTuber talking with you, that it goes out. Do you have any information or pros that you can give fellow YouTubers that might help them out to build their channels?
Okay, there was a really noisy car. Repeat it just one more time, the last part.
All right. I said, I know on your stuff, your shows and stuff, you encourage other people to check each other out, to, sub, check their channels out, share a little love with them. Are there any information that you can give fellow YouTubers and new YouTubers that would help them out to keep them in line on their channel on which way they want to go?
I mean, I think you hear it over and over. Just be who you are. I mean, stick with something and kind of go with it. Perfect it. I'm not sure if that's answering the question right, but just stick with something and perfect it and do it as best as possible. And just be who you are. Don't act like something and then not be that one person. Just try your best. That's all we can ask is try your best and, continue to do it. And if you could put out a video once a week, that's the main thing.
Yeah. Don't be fake, because people see fake. They see right through it. And be consistent. But and you've got a theme. You've got a theme. Chunky Cat's Fishing. They know that you look for the finger pointing at the rod. You've got little trademarks that goes along with your channel, guys. That comes with time. That comes with building I guess what you call your trademark. You've got to build that. That comes with time. It ain't something that you're gonna jump on. And if you go on and try to copy this person or that person, do what this person, whatever that's doing, that's going to hurt you in the long run. Best thing to do is, like you said, be yourself. We know if we watch Chunky Cat's Elstan, we're going to get big smiles. We're going to get laughs. We're going to get the real deal. And that's the only way that you need to produce your shows. That will make it more productive. It's not going to come overnight. You're going to get aggravated. You're going to say, well, where's my subscribers? Where's this? Guys, it will come. Once you get your trademark, and people are going to say, well, when I see somebody does that, first thing they're going to think of is Elstan. That's your trademark. Good job.
A lot of people have tagged him in the mule kicking on the chair like he did the other night when he moved the chair out of the way. That was kind of funny.
Sometimes I just do things that I don't know what I'm doing, and I go back and I'm like, the people loved it.
Absolutely.
And these comments, I'm like, he's too much and stuff like that. I'm like, what are you doing? But that's just me. It's just natural,
And
the fish gets me excited. It's like when I speak to people, if there's someone right in front of me, I'm gonna enjoy talking to them. If they really want to hear me, I would talk to them about anything in the world. And the way I talk on YouTube with a smile and excitement, that's how I treat anyone in
absolutely.
person.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's the high energy when the fish are biting. There's not anybody online that I'm aware of that's any more high energy than Elstan Perez.
And let me kind of say this, and most of my followers already know this, but I'll be honest, I never thought that I would be where I'm at, and I'll tell you why. I struggle with something. Okay, when I was in school, I struggled with school tremendously, and the teachers never said, Elstan, well, this is what's going on with you. It came to be about 3 or 4 years ago. I did research and I came to find out myself. Okay, self-diagnosed myself to be dyslexic. Dyslexic, it's hard stuff. I mean, trying to read comments. I tell people, if you keep it short and sweet, I will try to read it. But if you do really long, I'm sorry. I read by recognition. Mm-hmm. If I recognize the word, And sometimes I'll answer a question, but the way I understand it, and I'll go back when I watch myself, I'm like, that's not what he was asking. But most of my people who follow me, they understand that. You know,
Right.
it's difficult. And that's why I would ask Cookie. My son is Cookie, please come with me and help me read the comments for me. And he kind of got bored, and now he wants to be at home just playing games. But I think I'm doing okay. I think I'm doing all right, and the people love it. It's just, it's going well, I think.
Well, all I know is right behind you, I've been seeing quite a few flashes of lightning behind you.
Oh, you have no idea, Patriot, how many storms. I sent Lyle the Doppler 30 minutes before the show. It was red. I mean,
it really was.
All of the metropolitan was red. It was bad stuff.
Yep.
I'm not riding the lightning.
Yeah.
I see it. I see the lightning. I just looked back.
Yeah. That's some pretty mean lightning been jumping back there. That's why my past 2 shows, I hadn't scheduled nobody to be on because I thought I was going to go out fishing. And on this East Coast, man, we've been getting hammered with evening thunderstorms bad.
Well, and you know, JR's truck broke down. He was on the side of the road waiting on a tow truck, and you had sent me a message just a few minutes later that you was in the middle of a thunderstorm, may have to go to your house to do the thing. You wasn't sure how it was going to play out. And I'm thinking, well, if he's late or not in there, I got to have somebody to help me out. So I called James up, and he agreed to do it. And I thought, well, that'll at least make him and me. And then you come back and said you was going to go ahead and set up. So that made all 3 of us. And JR probably be back next week. If I'm sure he'll get his truck deal straightened out by then. But, you know, I thought there for a minute, I was thinking, hell, it's just going to be me.
Well, Lyle, you got a lot of information in that head on the catfishing world, so I know that.
Yeah, but I'd like to prepare to use some of it.
Oh, yeah.
Give me 1 second, real quick. Just
absolutely.
All right. Put another rod out.
I have all 4 out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Lyle, he is high energy. He's always smiling and happy, and that's that can be infectious, especially in today's times. We need that. Keep everything on the up and up.
Yep.
I hope we get a daggum catfish before the show's over with.
Well,
all right. So I'm going to show y'all my rods real quick and my setup.
Okay.
Most of you already seen it. This is the Muddy River Demon Dragon. I also won 4 of these on Norman's Catfish Headhunters. I kind of added my twist to it. I added beads and bobber stops to it. I use a Cat Max hook. Here's the eel head. Anyone who wants to see, it's not doing very much today. And then, of course, I even paint my swivels just for fun. Those that don't know or maybe never seen, I use a rubber bead here. And then I also paint my no rolls with fluorescent paint.
Yep.
They look really good, of course, when the black light hits it behind me. And let me just show you what I did with the Chris Flores rod that I won and then someone gave me. This one has been painted and wrapped. I did add the wrap to it. So if you can see, I guess it's kind of hard. Let me see if I can position it a little bit better over here. Here we go. So this is paint here, paint, and then this is where the 2 different colors come in here. I even paint the eyes, everything. And of course, when it gets later at night, these rods, I mean, they just illuminate.
They do. They glow.
Here we go. Mr. Shad, Fishing with the Chad, and Mrs. D were beautifully enough to send me 2 reels to go with these rods. They sent me 2 Akuma Avenger 6000s. Now, my show doesn't have any sponsors. My subscribers have been absolutely wonderful to me. I mean, they do super chats. They send me gifts. They send me, like Mike Moore send me the battery. They send me reels. They send me hats. It's just, they just show a lot of love towards me. And I just want to say thank you to all my subscribers that support me. Now, we have a surprise, guys. I've always said, okay, Chris Flores, Muddy River is absolutely amazing. Okay. Yep. And I've always said he's done unbelievable things for the catfish industry. He has his own line of rods. And I've always said everyone should own a Muddy River catfish rod. I mean, just you should just to support them. And if you don't want a rod, maybe a hoodie or a sweater, whatever. And I've always promised Chris, I'm going to buy one of your rods. Well, I ended up with 2. Now, I'm not gonna give away one of these because there's just way too much work. And like I said, I won one and one was gifted to me. But we're gonna do, Mr. Lyle, we're gonna give one away. I'm gonna buy it from Chris Flores, and I want to give one away. I want to give away a Muddy River rod.
Oh, wow!
Here in chat.
I hear you.
Let me get all loaded up because I was not prepared for that.
Let me get
people.
Let me get this back out there right quick.
Yeah, Chris is good people. I messaged him yesterday. I'd had him on my mind and met him up there at the Catfish Conference. And, you know, he donated 2 rods for the tournament and one of them, a bag full of them dragon weights that you can make up. Good people. Watched his video where his daughter's getting ready to move off and leave him. I know that's tough.
Oh, man. That was hard to watch.
Yeah. Quarantine Blues. That's the one that won the bobbers. Message me through Messenger on Facebook, Quarantine, and send me your address and stuff. We'll get them out to you.
I've known Chris Flores for a long time. We've ate dinner with him a time or two, and we have seen him at different events and talked to him and carried on. And he's just a top-notch guy. And I watched that video yesterday of him and his daughter, and they held it together pretty good. But I think there were a lot of people that watched that didn't do as well with it as they did.
Well, yeah, his eyes was kind of watery, but hey, he seems like a good daddy, and it's a good father. And he's had them kids out there up and down the water.
Since they was little.
To me, that's we need that kind of face in this industry.
That's exactly right. Well, Stan, I have everybody that's in chat loaded up. If you'll pick out a number between 1 and 5.
Number 5.
Number 5 it is. 1.
Bro. My name ain't in it.
3, 4, and 5. The winner is Jason Lamb, Lamm.
There he is. Congratulations, Jason.
Jason.
Good for him.
That's a heck of a prize, Elstan. Thank you so much. Jason, thank you for being in chat tonight and watching Catfish Weekly. And Elstan, we can't thank you enough for that. And I know Jason's going to enjoy that rod.
Absolutely.
I know he is. So
congratulations. Good for him. And
he says, "Are you kidding me?" No,
no kidding.
You just
I've always said I wanted to buy a Chris Flores rod. Well, of course, I'm not going to buy it because I have 2 now.
Right.
But now I bought one. I gave one away. You're exactly right. There's lightning back in the background.
It is. I have a question for you. There's I'm sorry, Justin. I didn't mean to say your name wrong, but that's how it come out of the hopper. Usually you go on after later on in the night. Are you going to stay out tonight, or are you going to watch the lightning and see what it does after we're done?
After the show, I'm going to check the Doppler, and I believe these storms are heading away from me. But if I see them coming this way, no, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I was looking at a tree. There's a tree about, 20 yards away from me to the back, and that looks like it has an old lightning strike. In my opinion, I mean, I'm not.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be there. I had several comments in chat tonight, and people asking if we'd extend the show. I think they want to see you catch a fish, and I understand that. But again, I don't want to put you in danger out there in that lightning either.
Well, I mean, I can't see Doppler as long as someone tells me I'm okay on the Doppler.
Okay.
We can stay. I mean, I really want to catch a fish. Let me tie this line I just threw out there right now.
Kevin says you need to change your shirt.
DMV's in. If DMV's in here, tell DMV to look at the Doppler and let us know what it says.
Yeah, someone. I'm sure there'll be plenty of people that can figure out the Doppler situation there. Yeah, I believe
no, Horn, you didn't win anything.
Or going the other way, I hope. I'm gonna
Peter
move my
got a
big
chance
rod
to
over.
play
That's the one that had
again,
a little
didn't he?
hit. I'm gonna move it over real quick.
Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, old Dieter won a chance to play again, didn't he?
Yeah. For next time. I'm sure
Lord.
Dieter's been busy today. I understand that there was a North Carolina state record blue cat caught today, so I understand
Yes.
that Dieter's worked on getting a video or something out about that. So,
121 pounder.
121.
Yeah, the last record was 117, so he beat it by quite a few pounds.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yep, same lake though, Lake Gaston.
It's man, just think if that fish was it spawned out?
I don't know.
If it was spawned out, that really would have been a big fish. Maybe I haven't spawned yet.
Well, Lake Gaston, that's up in the mountains. That's right there at the Virginia, North Carolina line. I would say it's probably, if it's a big female, which it probably was, then I'm sure she's probably done laid her eggs.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so. Kevin says they let it go and it swam away.
Yep.
So that's outstanding.
Yeah, the guy, he waded out there in the water with it and actually forced the fish down with him. He dove down and forced the fish into that lower, cooler water. And he said as soon as it hit that cooler water, the fish took off.
Wow. Catfish and crappie, if you want a bait cooler and I didn't win one, I'm very upset. And if you got it from James Dockery, I'm even more upset. Storms are moving northwest to southeast, Dieter said.
Yeah. Somebody said they're moving east of you, Elstan.
East. So north is that way. That would be south.
It's sure getting dark.
I know.
Yeah, lightning never strikes in the same place twice.
Yeah, we're good then.
That's what they say. That's what they say.
Yeah. Yeah, I done had 2 close calls here at the house. I'm not going to risk it the third one. And actually, tell you the truth, the sun was shining. There was a storm probably about 4 miles away. You could smell the rain, but the sun was shining. I come up here to the building to do something, was walking back to the house, and the tree behind me, it busted that tree. It blowed bark on me.
Wow.
And all around, I didn't know whether to poop, go blind, or just drop dead right there. I mean, no, you can have that lightning. I ain't riding that stuff no more.
Yeah, I don't want to do none of that.
So the cell behind you is heading away, Dieter says.
Good.
Yeah, good.
Because earlier when all the storm was, it was already, they were all moving that way. So I'm hoping that they're continuing moving away from me. It didn't change course.
Yeah, it's hard to jump and grab all the rods and everything else and run at the same time with lightning and.
Yeah, no, it takes me about 5 minutes to pack this little wagon up. I gotta put the chair in there and the net and, yeah.
Yeah, it takes you a little while to put all that stuff up.
But now you got a boat, don't you, Elstan?
I do have a boat, and I consider it to be a very nice catfishing boat. I have a Grizzly Tracker. It's a 1648, and believe it or not, when we bought that boat, it's been about 12 years ago, roughly. We bought it for a specific lake in Virginia. It's called Burke Lake, but that's electric power only, so you can only use a little trolling motor. And we did that for I don't know, several months, and we wanted more. So I took that little boat back to where I purchased the Bass Pro Shop, and I said, look, I want a little gas engine, but I don't want to steer like this. I said, I don't want to drive it like this. I want a little steering wheel. Okay, no problem. Just give us $3,000 and we'll put you. I spent a lot of money on. Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, the motor alone was, I don't know. It was like $2,000, and the little side console was another $1,000. That boat, I have a lot of money, believe it or not, on that little boat.
Yeah.
And then I painted it all white. I added graphics and stickers. It's beautiful, but it just sits there.
Now, are they boats allowed out there on the water you're fishing right there?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I mean, the yachts and everything. Oh, yeah. 100%. Yes.
That'd probably be a pretty good place to drag bass, wouldn't it, Lyle?
I would think so. Yeah.
Oh, I bet you would do very, very good, covering more area. Absolutely.
Yep. I would think so.
Yep. That might be a future show for you there, Mr. Elstan.
That's I think we talked about that on my live stream or someone's live stream. It's like a whole new, because right now it doesn't have what do you call rod racks. Then I would probably order the monster rod rack holder, and then and then I would want to add those little, what do you call it, pods that you add to the back of the boat where it kind of keeps it up a little higher.
Mm-hmm.
Junior Proctor won them ones from you, didn't he, Lyle?
Yeah, he won them on our show and had them put on. They shipped them to him. And he had them put on down there by him.
Right.
Very nice. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He said it made a big difference in his boat.
Yeah, I don't know how big a boat Junior's got, but he said it made a world of difference.
So, yeah, put that big pretty boat out there, Elstan.
Yeah, I got to get that boat in the water. Definitely, it's got to touch water. It hasn't been in water in at least 6 years, and I have a fear. Here's the thing: is that at the time Cookie was a lot smaller. Now he could probably help me out. It's backing it up, and then loading the boat back up on the trailer. Just everyone who's already perfected it, they want you out of the way. It's like, hurry up. And I'm not that good at it, so.
Find the empty parking lots and go practice in parking lots.
That's right.
There you go. Yep. Well said.
Yep.
Yep.
That's exactly the perfect time for that.
Yeah. Creole Catfishing said he uses the lightning tracker on his phone, so he'll get an alert if the lightning's real close to him. So that might be an app that you need to put on your phone. Being a bait
it might be.
It might be dinging right now, mightn't it?
It would be dinging, and I really wanted to do the show here on the bank, and I was hoping to catch a fish for you. I was hoping not to do it in the studio. So I'm glad I'm here. I mean, I'm a little disappointed we didn't catch a fish yet, but it could come still. It's still it's in the works.
It sure could.
What was the old guy that used to come in all of our shows? He's over in the Philippines or somewhere. He used to do a countdown for people on trying to catch their fish. Oh my God!
Oh, I don't.
You're not talking about Dexter, are you?
Dexter, that's him. I hadn't seen him in a while. I was just wondering if he's still around or what he's doing. But he used to do the countdown. I was getting ready to say we need old Dexter right here doing a countdown for you, get them rods dancing for you.
I'm just shocked that they haven't done any more than that, because they're going.
Well, yeah, it started off the show with one dancing.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you the shirt one more time that James Dockery and his wife created for me, because I'm getting ready to take it off. And I'm going to tell you why. Actually, this is a beautiful shirt. And let me show you the back real quick.
Love that shirt. Touch my finger.
I'm gonna put a shirt on. I know it's a little late in the show.
That's okay.
This shirt, I have never in my life been skunked since I've been keeping track of it. Let me just change it real quick. I'm not gonna do it on camera because nobody wants to see a fat guy change his shirt.
I understand all that. Oh man.
Yeah, that lightning looks pretty wicked on across that daggone water, don't it?
I hope it's not very close to him, because
I hope not either. It's been a good show.
It has been a lot of fun. And James, if you're busy, you don't have to hang with us, but you're welcome to stay as long as you want also.
Oh, I'm good, buddy. I'm good.
Mr. Hatred, I believe I don't do Facebook well at all, but I believe, did you purchase one of these?
You'll catch fish.
I haven't got one.
No? I thought I saw you post that on your Facebook page one time. But anyways, I've been wearing this shirt for, I don't know, maybe 15 of my live shows. I have never been skunked wearing this shirt.
Dang.
It's my lucky shirt. He's a big YouTuber. He puts a video every day or every other day. His name is Alex. And he's been really good supporting my channel. He'll pop in and say hello every now and then. And he's been really good supporting other catfishermen. And I really enjoy that from him, because he's like a master bass fisherman, bass fisherman. But yeah, he's an awesome person.
I think I'm subscribed to his channel through your channel.
Okay. Yeah. He's
probably from the first time I seen you and he was in there or something. I'm pretty sure I am.
Yeah,
you can really tell the difference in the outside lighting because the way your rods are now showing up compared to the way they were showing up a while ago.
Oh yeah, I mean
they're illuminated now.
Oh yeah, I mean they get. Oh yeah. When it gets even darker, they even illuminate more. They're looking really good, man. That light is really doing a light show here for us.
You be careful with that lightning now.
We're having a double light show. We have the rods and we have the lightning.
Yeah, you got some natural fireworks going on.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, I hope everybody that's watching and both you guys had a great 4th of July. It was a lot of fun around here. We had neighbors that actually we have a new neighbor across the street that walked over the other day and said he was going to shoot off a bunch of fireworks, and I think he was worried just telling me because he thought it would scare my dog. And I said, well, dude, it ain't gonna bother her. I mean, she's a lab, she's kind of ready for that. But everybody was done by about 9:30 or 10, and we had a great view of everything that was going on.
Good. Yeah, I know up there in Washington, they was probably put on a big show, didn't they, Elstan?
Yes, there was a big show. We were out at my house doing our own little fireworks, so I didn't see it. But yes, there was fireworks scheduled here in Washington D.C. Yes,
I'm watching them rods pretty close.
Yeah, that's what people, when I'm live on that's what everyone's. It's just hypnotizing. It's just right there.
Yep.
The only thing is that I'm trying to see Mr. Lyle and you, so every now and then I'll glance at because usually my chat is right on top of when I'm live by myself. The chat's right on top of the rods, so I can kind of see them, or people will let me know, 2222 or 33. They'll let me know what rod's going down.
So you're on a phone.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
It's an iPhone 11 Max, and it's got a really, really good camera. I like it because I noticed, not talking bad about or good, the iPhone I like the way it focuses really, really good with this fluorescent and high reflected tape. I noticed that which I think the Samsung are having trouble when people have like lightning bugs or whisker sticks. It's like going in and out. It doesn't focus as well. The iPhone is doing really well, at least the newer models.
Okay.
Right. And I've seen that, and a lot of times, especially if you're going live like on Facebook, it seems like, the wife does the sales and stuff of her clothes on Facebook, it'll do that. It seems like, I don't know if it's something through the programming of Facebook or whatever. It's like that camera, and she's got an iPhone 11, and that camera has a hard time staying focused. So I had to cut out all the lights behind us to try to make that camera want to stay focused, because it was trying to concentrate behind us and then on her, and then but I done used her phone on my YouTube, never had a problem. So it has to be the programming through Facebook.
Yeah.
Now, do you use your you got a Facebook page, don't you?
I never use it. I don't think I've ever posted anything on there, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't understand it. I don't understand how to accept someone and how. I don't want to hurt people's feelings thinking that I'm not accepting them. I don't know what I'm doing, to be honest.
That boy of yours can figure it out right quick for you.
You're exactly right. Well, the younger generation, they say Facebook's for old people. That's what they're saying now. Now they're with this TikTok and this other stuff. So.
Huh.
Oh yeah. Anytime something new comes out, everything else is for old people.
Yeah, it's.
Catfish Headhunter says Lyle, James, and Elstan need to design some stickers. We would all love to have them on our boat and vehicles.
I've got stickers.
Well, I used to have them, and we kind of done away with it, but I'll look into that.
Yeah, the stickers I got made, they cost me $4 a piece, and they ain't that big, but they're real good thick stickers. So
yeah.
I've got one on my truck. It's been on there 3.5 years now. and it still looks brand new.
Yeah,
This has been on this cup for 3 years.
that looks good.
It's washed every day,
That looks good.
and it don't peel. So I don't know what them people use to make them stickers. I'll pay that $4 to get stickers made.
Yeah, that'd be worth it for sure.
I thought I seen a question come
So,
up.
Mr. Lyle, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Am I one of maybe possibly the first bank fisherman to be on the show?
No,
Okay.
but you're the first one in a long, long time.
I'm honored.
What's the guy out in California's name? That fishes in a tube and fishes off the bank, and I can't think of his name right now, but we had him on 4 or 5 years ago. A guy kept after me to have him on there. He catches a lot of good fish, but he fishes a lot on one of them tubes you put in the water and float around.
Okay.
I can't think of his name for nothing for some reason, but that was a long time ago.
Okay.
Long time ago.
Very nice.
But I mean, it
All right, Carl.
doesn't matter to me. I used to bank fish all the time. I just don't like fight the mosquitoes anymore.
Oh, I still love it. I mean, I got boats, but I still love that bank fishing. To me, that takes me back to the days with your daddy and your grandpa.
Well, that's very true.
To me, it's kind of a chance to reminisce, get back in touch with nature, and one thing, not fight the boat and the crowds at the boat rounds, but we're pretty limited around here. We don't have many places to bank fish. The lakes and stuff are just built up so much, and then the other places they've outlawed it because people come in and they trash it up.
Well, and you can't blame them for that. One of the things that we have on Lake of the Ozarks is they have docks, and you can bank fish from a dock. And there's a lot of people that fish those docks. And Cindy and I fish the same areas where those docks are at. And there's great fish there. But most of those guys are fishing for crappie, and we're fishing for catfish. So they don't really bother us. And we'll go and catch fish right in front of them.
So the docks around here, you'll be elbow to elbow.
Wow.
And I don't care to fish like that.
Now, do you have any heated docks out there?
Say it again.
Heated. They have docks here that are heated in the wintertime for them crappie guys to go in there, and they have a big old hole, and they'll sit around that hole, and if the whole thing's heated, it's enclosed, and they'll catch crappie off them Christmas trees down there on a heated dock.
That's crazy.
I don't think so. I've never heard of a heated dock before. That's a new one for me.
That's up at Lake the Ozarks. They've got 2 or 3 of them. I know where one's at, but I don't know where any more of them's at. But the one that I'm thinking about, my brother-in-law and I went to, oh my gosh, years and years ago, and it's so big that it got several of those holes in there with people sitting around fishing, and they put trees in there every year to keep the crappie in, and you can go in there, and when it's cold outside, and you can be in there in a sweatshirt and catch crappie all day long.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet. I wonder if you have to register to, say on certain days I'll be there. They charge you to do that, or
yes, they charge you so much to go in there, and that's for the day, as if I remember correctly. That was a long time ago when Tom and I done that.
Right. Yeah. Now, what you do, Elstan, to stay warm? Bundle up in the winter.
I'm at home. I'm not fishing in the winter. Believe it or not, I'm pretty picky. I mean, high winds, I'm not out there. Extreme colds, no. It's gotta be pretty perfect. The weather's gotta be just right.
I don't blame you for that.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen you doing any rainy days.
One time, because I got caught up there, and it was a little cool and rainy. And I kind of like fishing in the rain, but no, not many rain. No, that's not me.
Well, I don't blame you.
You might be missing out on some of the best days of fishing in your life.
Well, they always said when it's raining, the fish are biting. That hasn't always worked out for me, but I have caught fish in the rain, but not every time.
But I always get my tail wet.
Yeah.
We had some very, very strong thunderstorms right 30 minutes before the show started, so it's not working today for me.
Yeah, it's
right
not working today at all, is it?
It's not doing well.
I don't want you to get caught out there in that lightning and stuff. We've been going on about an hour and 25 minutes, and I absolutely have had a blast with you both. I thank you so much for being a part of our show tonight. Elstan, we'll have to do this again.
Absolutely.
We'll pick a time out when we think the fish are going to be biting and the lightning's not going to be flying, and we'll try it again.
Sounds like a plan. Absolutely.
Are you going live tonight? Or are you going to stay out? Or are you going in?
I'm going to check the Doppler. It's not looking good. I can just tell you that much.
Okay.
I know. We're going to have another storm come by around 11 o'clock, so I need to check.
Yeah, I don't want you getting caught out in that stuff and getting wet or struck by lightning or anything like that. I'd never get over that. James, I can't thank you enough on short notice to jump in here and help me out tonight. It was awesome having you in here. We always have a great time when you join the show. Thank you so much for that. And everybody that watched the show tonight, thank you so much. Remember, old JR stuck out on the side of the road. I hope he gets in without any more trouble than he's already had. I'm sure he'll be back next Monday night. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thanks for the donation of the prizes, you guys, and thanks so much for being a part of the show. For James and Elstan, I'm Lyle. See y'all next Monday night.
Good night.
Be there.
Love every single
God
one of you.
bless.
Y'all take care.
All right. Bye.